Hi folks, and thanks for tuning into the E-50 factory. I just thought I'd give you a bit of a catch up with this E-50 Jagdtiger 2 that I'm working on. You'll see in the other part of the video that I had a go at doing the cut marks that you get on armour plating, or on specifically on German armour plating. And as you can see in the video, what I did was I used the Tamiya white top glue as a softening agent, and then once that had reacted for a short time, now it dries fairly quickly, but it's slower drying than extra thin is, then I started cutting or scratching the grooves into the plastic. And yeah, mixed results really. It looks a lot better than what's on there, because if you can see on there, on the model, there's zero detail for that, so anything is better than nothing. I'll have to look on some reference photographs to get an idea of how rough that was, and how precise those cuts were, so I'll look into that. But yeah, it's an improvement over what was there originally, and I think with a bit more finessing I can get it even better should it need to be. The other thing I decided was that I was going to get rid of all these track hangers on the side of the turret, as I'm doing this as a red oxide primered vehicle, kind of having it rushed out of the factory. So I thought, to make it a simpler design or simpler look, so I've also filled various holes in the chassis as well that would have held tools and tow cables, and I shall add the tools that go on the top and find a place. There's a sledgehammer, an axe. I'll find a place for the spade to go, probably on the back here at the top behind the exhausts, and the tow cables I shall make just, soft wire and some eyelets out of the spares box. I shall also I filled the holes on the back plate as well, where the hooks go that the Germans used to attach the tow cable to, the bit, brain's gone now, shackles, sorry, where they attach to the shackles. I'm sure those bits have got a name, but I don't know what that is off the top of my head. They seem to have been something that only the Germans used. But what I will do is I'll have those attached to the eyelet on the tow cable, and then attached to the shackle on the tank chassis. As you can see, it's pretty. That's where they go, just so it's probably looking more ready to be towed if it needs it. So yeah, so I've as I said, I've filled these holes. I've used the Vallejo plastic putty. Other makes are obviously available. I quite like that one. I've been using it for years, and it does what I need it to do. So these have thoroughly dried now, these little blobs. So I'm just going to have a bash at cutting them off with this razor blade, because it's nice and sharp, and just see how we get on. I shall probably have to re-go over it with the texture, just to make sure that these aren't visible. Yeah, so that's cutting those off a tree, as I thought it would do. As this filler, as a lot of these plastic putties does, it does shrink back a bit, which is why I've left these blobs proud. But we will see, as long as there's no evidence of them there, once it's fitted. Yeah, see that one there has come right out, so that one will need to be going over. But it's not a, you know, it's not a major job or a particularly difficult job. It's just something to get right. So the other thing that I have been working on is sorting out the beginnings of the road wheels and sprockets and idlers and suspension units. So obviously they're a little bit different to what you would get on a Jagdtiger or King Tiger, this being the E-50 version. So it's a simplified setup. So I've just started taking them off the sprue, gluing them together, and then they need going over and cleaning up. But it was a fairly straightforward job to do. Obviously a lot less road wheels than you would get, again, as I say, on a King Tiger or a Jagdtiger, etc. So yes, I mean, you can see that those have filled those holes. I shall scuff over it with a sanding stick, just to so I can identify if any others need work on. But I'm quite pleased with that, and that's worked all right. I should have probably done it, had I thought about it, I would have done it before I did the texturing, but that doesn't seem to be an issue. As I said, I can really go over those little spots with a bit of stippling, and that won't be noticeable. So I'll cut these bits off of here as well, again, same technique. Yeah, so again, that one's sunk back in a little bit, so we'll need some attention. So there. The other thing that turned up, which I said I was going to be getting, was the etched grills. So I'm pleased about that, because they will just add a bit of extra detail and a bit of extra finesse to the otherwise quite bland looking engine deck. So yeah, so there it is for now. Obviously I'll carry on working on those bits. I'm not following the instructions particularly well at all with this kit. It's not an issue because they're incredibly simple, these instructions. As you can see here, I've already replaced the barrel, so I didn't need to use that. The internal part of the barrel, these bits here, didn't get used. And as you can see, the rest of it is very simplistic again. No tools, no tools. These engine parts, the access to the engine will be left off because they'll be sprayed slightly different colour. Wheels, as you can see, wheels and suspension units, all very simple. Tracks to come, but they're Lincoln length, so I'm not anticipating any problem with those. What I shall try to do, what I quite like doing if I can, is assemble the tracks and then attach them to the wheels, and then remove the whole part, track and wheel, and paint them up that way. I should probably do that. I'm not 100% sure, but that's something to think about. And then, as you can see, we're coming to the end of the build, really. So it's a very simplistic kit. So I'll leave it there for now. Again, thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe and like and comment, and I'll catch up with you soon. Cheers.